Okay, so a quick one to share with you today is about learning and the three parts that I think are the required in order for someone to learn something. Now, I think you've got, first of all, understanding. Do you understand and are able to explain the mechanism by which things work and why? So that you can then derive those thoughts later at another date rather than having to memorize them just like flashcards. The second part is context. So do you have transferable skills or experiences in this area that will aid in your ability to learn? And then the last one is practice. Now, the amount of each you need, you can think of them as like three pillars of a stool. If you have no understanding and no context, you need a crazy amount of practice to learn something. But if you have fantastic understanding, immense context, you need very little practice to learn. So like as an example, this is one I always use in sales calls, which is if I were to give you a French phrase today and I ask you in a month to repeat that French phrase, the odds of you having learnt it are near zero. But now imagine that you already speak French. You're obsessed with French food, culture, movies, all this sort of stuff. Then you would almost certainly remember that phrase in a month or so. And so the amount of practice that you need depends on the other two, essentially. And the reason I'm thinking about this today is I've been talking with some new entrepreneurs, relatively new within their first couple of years, and there's been a lot of poo-pooing of how easy things are. Oh, it's just so easy, so simple, just do this. And yes, 100%, lots of things, lots of business principles are super basic. It's the execution and what makes them difficult. And so if you haven't done it yourself, my recommendation is to always add a little bit of context, a little bit of salt to say, although I haven't done this, this seems to be the way to do this. And I think if you haven't done it, go ahead and find that experience, because then you will understand the unknown unknowns. I could give you the exact steps right now to do a handstand, but if you have never done one before, the moment you go upside down, everything will leave your head, and the most important parts it won't click until you've had to go. You then come back down and give you the same tips again, and then you go, oh, that's what you meant by touch your toes. Oh, okay, I get it. And then you go again, and now you have context by which to apply the information. So if you have any part of anything that you're learning in life, I would say go after these three things. At least this is for me. Do you understand how it works? Do you have any other transferable context around these things? And have you done an unreasonable amount of practice to be good at it? If you haven't got those things, you likely haven't learned it. And actually the easiest way to test whether you've learned something or not is to explain it to someone else, to try to teach someone, because then you will have the pitfalls and the gaps that will become highlighted where they will fall short and you have to explain or justify the situation. So there you go, little tips and tricks to go about learning new things. And I promise you can learn anything you want, but it might take some time. All right, that's my thoughts. Peace out.